On ABC News, Vice President J.D. Vance commented on Medvedev's recent post in which he suggested that a number of countries help Iran develop its nuclear program and even, in fact, supply it with nuclear weapons. First of all, I think it's a strange answer, but I also don't know if this guy speaks for President Putin and the Russian government, Vance said. Medvedev's post on Telegram in a 10-point list of political and military points in response to the strike on a facility in Iran. In point 2, he essentially admits Iran has developed and will develop nuclear weapons, and in the third, he openly declares the possibility of direct assistance to Iran in this direction. And if other countries want to help Iran in this is their choice. The context leaves no doubt. We are talking about Russia. Neither China nor North Korea are physically capable of making such a delivery, even if they wanted to. Against the backdrop of many years of harsh statements by the former Russian president, his current post may prove special. For the first time in a long time, he is provoking not Europe, but Washington directly. And for the first time, not just with words, but with hints of nuclear escalation. This creates the risk of a new diplomatic war between the US and Russia. And most importantly, it forces the White House to reconsider how representative Medvedev is and whether his statements can continue to be considered unofficial. Recall, Russian Foreign Ministry called the American attack on Iran's nuclear facilities irresponsible and violating international law. Moscow was particularly outraged by the fact that the operation was being carried out by a country that is a member of the UN Security Council. This statement demonstrates astonishing doublethink. The same legal arguments, word for word, have been made by the international community against Russia for decades for its annexation of Crimea and full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In 2022, the UN General Assembly qualified Russia's actions as a violation of the UN Charter, adopting Resolution ES-11/1. Special concern about strikes by a permanent member of the UN Security Council sounds cynical against the backdrop of Russian practice. In June 2025 alone, the Russian armed forces launched 17 massive missile strikes on Ukrainian cities, including shelling of energy infrastructure. In 2024, Russia used its veto power in the UN Security Council to block a ceasefire resolution.
Hundreds of residents of Gorno-Altaysk came out for a coordinated protest against the liquidation of the two-tier system of local government. According to local activist Pavel Pastukov, up to 4,000 people came. Some of the protesters came in national costumes. The posters that the protesters brought had the following slogans: "Hands off our Altai," "We are against the occupation of our lands by oligarchs," "Turchak resign," "No to single-level power," and "Turchak and Prokopiev, suitcase, train station, Magadan." Citizens also expressed support for the participants of the uncoordinated protest action, who on June 12 partially blocked the federal highway, speaking out against the abolition of the two-tier system of local government. The head of the republic, Andrei Turchak, did not comment on the situation. According to the law, Russian regions decide for themselves whether to maintain the two-tier system of local government or not. The authorities of the Altai Republic previously proposed to remove village councils and merge them into municipal districts within the current administrative regions. At the same time, the bill retains the possibility of direct elections of the heads of these districts. After this, residents began to protest against the destruction of local government, as well as the appointment of Alexander Prokopiev, a former State Duma deputy and son of the founder of the Evilar Company, the largest Russian manufacturer of dietary supplements, as head of the Republic's government. Earlier in June, the Siberian Express telegram channel notes, residents of the Republic held several protests and public gatherings in settlements. Some Altai deputies also spoke out against the bill on the liquidation of village councils. Recall, despite its natural resources, rivers and lakes, impenetrable forests, and high mountains, the Altai Republic is one of the poorest and most sparsely populated regions of Russia. Only 210,000 people live here. The vast majority of the population lives in rural areas. The basis of the region's economy is livestock farming. Altai people raise sheep, cows, and deer. Many still live exclusively on farming, occasionally visiting a village shop. Some settlements do not have gas and electricity. It is also reported that, according to statistics for the first 6 months of 2025, 74% of the population has unpaid loans, an average of 467,000 rubles per capita. In recent years, the standard of living in the Republic has gradually begun to rise. By 2025, the former High Altai had risen from 80th to 78th place in the rating of Russian cities for quality of life. Investments have also begun to flow into Altai, and now the main investor is Sberbank. Tourism has always been one of the main sectors of the economy here, but much has changed since the Moscow oligarchy arrived in the region. Deputies of the UST Kansky District Council also demanded the preservation of the local self-government system, stating that, according to the results of public meetings held in 9 out of 11 districts of the Republic, citizens are against the reform. Appeals to Turchak were also signed by individual deputies of the Maimansky district and the Mainzhrok rural settlement. A large-scale fire has broken out near the town of Tokmak, which is temporarily occupied by Russia, in the Zaporizhia region. A Russian echelon with fuel is on fire, according to Petro Andriashenko, head of the Center for Occupation Studies. The enemy train could have been hit by the Ukrainian defense forces on the railroad section between the village of Levadin and Molokhansk. Our people on the ground confirm the main bonus: the railroad track is ruined. It will take a couple of weeks to replace it, which means the fuel will not go to the front for 2 weeks, he added. It is currently reported that 11 tanks are burning. Smoke can be seen 15 to 20 kilometers away. As a bonus, it is specified that the railway line is heavily damaged. Andriashenko estimates that repairs will take 2 weeks. Accordingly, it will no longer be possible to deliver fuel to the front line by rail. The train is burning on the section of the railway between the village of Levidnoy and the city of Molokhansk. The main intelligence directorate itself has not yet commented on this event. Recall, recently, at least 7 people were killed and 69 injured when a highway bridge collapsed onto railway tracks after an illegal interference, derailing a train in Russia's Bryansk region that borders Ukraine. The train's locomotive and several cars derailed, due to the collapse of a span structure of the road bridge as a result of an illegal interference in the operation of transport, Russian Railways said on the Telegram messaging app. Alexander Bogomaz, the governor of the Bryansk region, said on Telegram that 44 people were hospitalized. 3 children were among those injured with 1 in serious condition, he added. Russia's Ministry of Emergency Situations said on Telegram that efforts to find and rescue victims continued throughout the night, and that some 180 personnel were involved in the operation. Among those killed was the locomotive driver, Russia's state news agencies reported, citing medics.